Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me on a beautiful day here at Donington Park with Ferrari for the Ferrari Challenge. Now today I'm going to be getting behind the wheel of a Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO race car for an experience of what it is all about. You'll see here in the paddock though I am surrounded by some incredible Ferrari cars. We'll go and take a look around, including the Monza SP2, a number of new 812 GTSs and plenty more before going over to the Challenge EVO to take a look at the car. Then there will be a race today, we'll see some of that, and then it'll be my turn to get behind the wheel for probably one of the experiences of my lifetime today in the 488 Challenge EVO. There are some phenomenal cars here in the paddock at the moment, some amazing colours as well, and the Monza SP2, which is heading out. One of my favourite drives ever was in one of these. Limited special car, part of the Icona series, only 500, the choice between the SP1 and the SP2 for customers, but have a look around here, a number of SF90s, that 812 GTS we need to explore as well, a few Romas, Pistas, 488s, F8s, there's a lot to see, and I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty good with the V12. Let's have a look around. The cars that you can hear in the background are from the Ferrari Owners Club, who continue to come to the events and run the older Challenge cars out in action as well. But let's take a little look around at what we've got here. Many, many different Ferrari models. A couple of SF90s just here, a couple more over that side as well. Both of these two are Assetto Fiorano cars, this one with the painted livery over the top, but the 1,000 horsepower hybrid production Ferrari, a car that fascinates me. If we take a look around, I love this car on the F8 Tributo Blue Corsa, the TDF Blue on the 488 GTB, in California, and then look at this. This 812 GTS is stunning. This is basically the perfect car with the dual tone wheels, silver calipers, the traditional Scuderia shields, and the Koyo dual tone interior. This car is perfection. I'm not gonna lie, that is beautiful. We've got a Portofino just behind. If we come through though, you can see plenty more. What a lineup Ferrari actually have at the moment, to be honest. Over this side we've got Pistas, we've got Speciales, we've got Romas, we've got all sorts of bits and pieces, and a very bright green 812 Superfast down there as well, which certainly stands out quite a lot. But I think we should go through and have a quick look at the 488 Challenge EVO that I'm going to be driving today. SF90 Assetto Fiorano in the white, looking incredible, but as is this 812 Superfast in blue Electrico. This is a gorgeous paint colour, a multi-layer blue paint. Stunning, absolutely stunning. A couple of older Ferraris as well in the lineup here. I love that. The Ferrari Owners Club cars are back from their outing. Fantastic that these are still being driven, and properly, I must add as well, some of the earlier Challenge cars of different eras. This actually started before the Challenge series itself, which now obviously takes place pretty much around the entire world. All sorts of different regions having their Ferrari One Make series, but the UK is actually the only market to host its own, with some fantastic circuits here, and the opportunity, of course, for lots of customers to come and have some fun and experience even more of what I'm going to be doing today. But let's go and see the 488 Challenge EVO. And here it is then, in the pit lane. Well, things are getting geared up for what's going to be happening later on, but the 488 Challenge EVO, the evolution of the 488 Challenge based on Ferrari's 488 GTB. That means we've got the 3.9 litre twin turbo V8, 670 horsepower, and a whole host of aero. As you can see, the EVO was effectively the updated package, new settings, new configuration, a little bit more aero, more downforce at the front. You can see with the splitters, the flicks around the sides. We're running on slicks. We're going to have a full look as well at the inside, a gigantic spoiler at the rear, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, dual-clutch gearbox. This is absolutely mega to be able to experience today. Look here, even the aero on the underside of the door mirrors. Come round towards the back so you can see what's going on around here. As one comes straight on by, view through towards that magnificent V8. In fact, I'm going to squeeze around past these gigantic wing end plates to come and show you on the inside of this. Look at that, proper race car. All of the controls on that very squared off steering wheel, the full seat with the wraparound ears as well, fixed cage inside. I'm going to be driving this in a moment. I'm actually going to be experiencing this car and what it's like out here at Donington as all of the cars prepare to line up and go out. They've got their race coming up shortly. This is fantastic to see the cars rolling by, to have a look at some of the different liveries. Was always going to be a big fan of the blue one, hey? There are cars everywhere on both sides as they now come to line up, ready for the race start. So these are the guys who have some experience behind the wheel now, taking part in the Ferrari Challenge Series. Up on the hydraulic jacks, of course, to prep everything, make sure all the cars are fully ready and raring to go. Here we go, it's a rolling start. That was cool to see. Well, I'll be out there driving in one of those very shortly. Out here, in fact, in that car, right down there. I am suitably suited and booted then for the occasion. The car has been out for a warm-up. I'm going to hop in for some passenger laps before taking the driver's seat. Let's do this. Let's hop on board.
All right then, here I am on board. Time to get properly harnessed in and ready for a real experience. I just had some passenger fun.
If the position is good, after the picture, we can put the ignition down.
Okay, ignition, everything flashing away.
Right, we're getting ready. Quick bit of air into some of the tyres. Everything moves in here, the seat, the steering wheel, so the seating position is great. This feels very serious as we count down towards heading out. Ignition on at the moment. Okay, we've got a nice camera with the view backwards. Oh, okay. This is a very, very raw place to be sat. We haven't even moved yet. Final countdown, let's start it up. Okay. Okay, here we go. First corner, take it easy. Build into this. Phenomenal. We've got a bit of a chicane here at the end of the lap. Foot flat down straight. Up to the red line. Firm on the brakes. Easing into this. Tricky first corner, tight as you think it's going to be. Early short shift to keep the car planted. As you come down through this magnificent section of the circuit here, down to third gear. couple of laps, taking it easy, getting a little feel for this thing. Goodness me, that was quite the experience. What a fantastic thing. We're going to pull back in now. Into neutral and ignition off. That was awesome. As first drives go, that was really very, very cool. Sadly, for today, it comes to an end. But as a taster experience for this thing, that was mega. And I would love to do it again. For now though, slide the seat back and step on out. Well, that all happened in quite the blur, but what a drive in this, the 488 Challenge Evo, a surprisingly approachable car that was nowhere nearly as terrifying as I thought a race car like this would be. In many ways, similar and familiar from its road-going sibling, the 488 GTB, but of course significantly more aero, significantly more grip. A number of the cars going around now for some testing sessions. A lot of grip, in fact, from the slick tyres, obviously all of the aero that it has, but very, very confidence-inspiring. This is basically right up my street. When I'm familiar with driving with road supercars, this is take that and put it into a car that you can use in an environment like this. Now, we were driving with the manettinos, and they introduced a number of manettinos and selectors for the different driving setup in the car. We were driving it with traction control in mode 3. In the races, they would have 2 and 2 effectively, but obviously being my first time out and just taking it easy and learning a little bit about this, we weren't going too crazy. Obviously, this is completely different to the road car in terms of the central console, the steering wheel. The display is cool, full digital display, that rear view that you have through the camera screen as well on there, and obviously the cage and the seats. But in terms of the car, it drives and handles, I suppose, in many ways like you would expect this kind of car to do so, which was absolutely fascinating to experience. Obviously, no glass for the windows, weight savings, lighter than standard, but still a 670 horsepower. And yeah, that was a really, really cool drive. Actually, just noticing the front end is almost SF90-esque with the way it comes around towards that boomerang style shape. The exposed carbon, you have all of the openings and intakes for cooling and airflow that goes through this thing. Center lock wheels, obviously, on Racecar, the pneumatic jacks as we've seen for it lifting up. You've got the various different positions you can have for the rear spoiler, depending on the track and where exactly you're driving. And even here, you can adjust it as well and configure and set up. But for the races, when they do the challenge races, every car effectively has the same configuration to keep it square, to keep it interesting between the 2 different classes that run, the Pirelli Trophy and also the proper Shell that happen simultaneously, Shell and Pirelli being a big part of the Challenge Series. In fact, providing the tyres for qualifying and race and the fuel as well for those, just with customers having the option to do more should they prefer. But on a glorious day here at Donington, that has been quite the experience. Obviously the cars are running silencers, as you probably figured, given the relative, I suppose we could say, lack of sound that comes out of them. Oh, I think I should do it again. I think I need a little bit more time in one of these at some point in the future. So it's time for the car to head on out. I would love to spend more time at the wheel of this, perhaps even more with the Challenge Series. Crazy cool thing. But off it goes for now, end of the day. The SF90 is such a cool thing. This is an Assetto Fiorano, and it's in electric drive. Crawling away. There we go. Engine kicked into life. That sounds pretty good, actually. That sounds really good as it heads on out. Nice. I love that way that it can head off in electric and then just kick in the engine like that. Over here we've got quite a few more Ferraris, lots of Romas, 2 yellow F8s, and this little lineup as well. Roma and F8 Tributo sandwiching this stunning 812 GTS. And I know we showed it earlier, but I wanted to come back to it because this is, honestly, the more I'm standing here, this is how I would spec an 812 GTS. This colour these wheels with the dual tone effect, just like I had on my FF and then on my Lusso. Silver calipers, yellow center caps to match the yellow scud shields, the carbon exterior, so the carbon around the diffuser, bumper, side skirts, the LED carbon driver zone, the Koyo interior, green on tan, that kind of traditional iconic color scheme that is always one that works. It is very dark, especially when you come around towards the shadows, this paint color, but it's so elegant and stylish and suits the car so well as a result. And I do quite like, at least on the 812, how the radar sensor is slightly more integrated than there on the Roma, where it just sticks out a little bit too much for me. But this is yeah, a really very nice car, and that was a really incredible day, it has to be said, here during the Ferrari Challenge weekend. There are also the Ferrari Racing Days weekend, where the Challenge Series is on. Customer cars are driving as they were today as well, other stints, the older Challenge cars. With the Racing Days, you also have the F1 cars, the Corsa Clienti, and the XX programs like the FXXK, EVO, 599XX, FXX, etc. And all of those would be blasting around the circuits as well. But here in the UK, there are so many incredible tracks: Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Donington, Snetterton, the list goes on. And that's why a series like this, where a lot of people take part in motorsports and racing, and I've done a few racing events in the past myself, that's where this makes sense, because you can come and bring that experience of these road supercars to the track with more aero, with more grip with the slicks, and just get more of a connection with the car without it being intimidating, like driving a GT3 or a GTE car, which is really that step up. And I think this is a great way to learn and get into the racing world with other like-minded people. And yeah, like I said earlier, I would love to have another go out, so maybe that's something to happen in the not too distant future. Today has been incredible though, a beautiful day to be here at Donington Park with Ferrari, driving the 488 Challenge Evo, a day that I won't forget even after a few short laps. That's it for now though, thank you very much for watching. As always guys, stay tuned for more in this space very soon. That's it for now, I'll see you soon. Cheers!